It's me, Christine, again, and now we're going to be going over how to construct your skateboard hand mannequin. The supplies that you will need, you'll either need a latex glove, vinyl glove, kitchen glove, etc. My best choice and best suggestion to you is to use this. It's the thickest, most durable, and way easier to work with. But I will also be filling one of these to show you kind of why not to really go with this option. You'll need nail tips that cover the whole bed of the nail. I just have these, simple, plain. You can get them anywhere like Sally's. You can get them at Walgreens. So any of your local stores you can really find nails at. You'll need nail glue, which generally will come with your nails. A tie-off material, rubber band, twist, tie, string, tape, etc. Rubber bands work the best in my opinion. Your substance will be flour, rice, beans, birdseed, sand, etc. I used oatmeal. Anything smaller, I strongly suggest against, because if you nip it while you're doing your manicure, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be shaking. You're like, oh gosh, I'm taking my skateboard test, I can be a cosmetologist. And you can like accidentally nip it, and if you have like sand in it or flour in it, okay, if you have flour in it, just imagine cutting it open. It'd be like a prank video gone really bad, and it's your career on the line. So advise against flour, and I advise against sand. Bigger substances. So I'm using oatmeal because that's what I had. Kitchen glove, this for an example. Rubber bands for a tie-off. And you'll want to have a nipper so you can chop down the size of your nails after you glue them on, because if they're too long, when you lay them to present on the table, they're going to hang over and you could smudge the fingernail polish on them. So it would look pretty bad, and you can get points taken off for smudging it before they examine it. So first we're going to take our glove and fill it with the appropriate amount of the substance to ensure fingers and hand portion of glove are firm and totally filled. Kind of just put it in there and shake it down into the fingers, especially with the kitchen glove, because you want to have firm fingertips, that way you can work with them while you're trying to apply your nail polish and fill it in. Then you want to twist it and tie it off really good so you don't have any leaking problems while you're there. Make sure you don't use a dry rotted rubber band, because you know that would be really bad if you got that oh, my manicure looks gorgeous, and then it snaps and breaks and you're like, oh, it's never good. And always try to pack an extra hand too. You can take 2 hands. That way if something does happen to one, you have another one to work with. I like to fold mine over to ensure that it stays closed, and it gives it more of a subtle edge there. So that's the kitchen glove. No nails or anything yet, just filled. And this is our vinyl glove. Our weak, flimsy vinyl glove. Now remember, it's just my own personal preference to use oatmeal and to use these gloves. You can use whatever you want. As long as it's approved, it'll be on your paper what's approved and what's not. Now see, even when you shake this down in there, you're still pretty flimsy on the fingers. Compared to the thicker material of a kitchen glove, there's less movement, so it's easier to control your nail tips. My mom might kill me for using over oatmeal. Twist it off. Rubber band it. Fold it over to give you a nice clean finish. that's basically step one. There will also be instructions for making your mannequin hand in your stapler packet that you get from your school. Now we're going to want to glue on the nails. The good thing about the kitchen glove is it kind of already has an outline markers for where the nail should be. So that's really helpful when you're placing your fingernails on. Rock, stop, and roll. Rock, stop, and hold. And there's the kitchen. Kitchen glove completed with the nails. Now I'm going to show an example of the vinyl glove. A little bit more complicated to work with. You don't really have any markers as to where you want to put the nail because it's just a clear glove. And here is our vinyl glove. See how it can get crooked? You don't really have markers. It shifts really easily because of how flexible the material is. It's just, I like the kitchen glove better. Now you can take your nippers and come through where you'll see when you're working with them, when you lay them down to present to show that you're finished, you turn the glove around facing forward and you set it on the towel that you'll have laid out. And as you can see, you'll have contact points which could mess up your polish areas. So you want to nip them a little shorter. And I wouldn't worry about filing them, because when you go to take your exam, you're going to have to do the whole manicure process, and filing them and changing the shape of the nail is part of that process. So just make sure they're all decently the same length. They have the same free edge hanging out over the tip, so they're all decent the same length. And then you can shape them at board. So now when you set them down, you won't have those contact edges that you would if they were longer. Now do the same thing with this one, my flimsy glove. And then lays nicely. And this is how you make your gloves for State Board in Ohio. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, just please leave them below and I'll try to get back to you on them, alright?